Today's maybe a little bittersweet, you could say. It's a new chapter in my video/photography career, maybe. I just sold one of my favorite machines I've ever owned. I've had this for, what year was it that I downgraded to this? It might have been around 2018, 19 perhaps. Because I went from, I finally invested after all those years of working at Best Buy. I finally saved up enough to invest in a full frame Sony A7R 2, maybe. Maybe it was the first R, I can't remember now. And, but the camera I had before that trade up also was, or I kind of bought them at the same time, and I was gonna return the other one that I felt I didn't need. But I had the A6500, the APS-C size sensor at that time. And the low light performance of that was pretty much on par, if not even better than the A7R, in my opinion, for those videos. So yeah, that changed my perspective of what's kind of needed for good image quality, and even in low light situations. And I was trying to get my kit actually smaller because I was traveling so often, and I hated to lug around a bunch of different lenses and different camera gear that I barely even used, it seemed like. And so when I found out about their RX10 series, I'm trying to sit in front of the sun, I know it's kind of shooting at the camera. And we're gonna switch to this in a minute too, so we can keep talking about the nostalgia of it. But yeah, this thing has a all-in-one lens. It's like a 24 to 600 equivalent. It's only a 1-inch sensor. So there's been moments I wished I had better low light performance. However, I'll show you some clips later where I'm shooting indoors, I'm shooting in like pretty low light environments. And if you know how to work your settings correctly and light the subject, you know, properly and everything, you could still get some decent looking images in those situations. So yeah, the range, it has a Carl Zeiss lens on this. The range of this lens is like unmatched. Couple that with its 4K image quality, it shoots S-Log. The dynamic range is quite powerful on this thing. So to have that all in a camera that's, you know, I sold this for under $800, but that's kind of like the average range you could still find some of these for on eBay. But there's a newer model, the RX10iii, which has improved like touchscreen. This one's not touchscreen or anything. I think it also has improved autofocus. This one's decent at autofocus. It's just not on par now with the new Sony cameras. So I've mostly manually focused with this most of my life, but it's pretty capable of some autofocus situations. But let's switch to it now, and so I can kind of see what it's all framed up with the sun behind me and everything. All right, possibly the last shot I'll be getting with the RX10iii. This is shooting an S-Log in its full glory, 4K 30, my preference. Some of the newer cameras nowadays, yeah, they'll go up to 4K 60, 4K 120. Some of the new action cameras are doing that now. But yeah, it's time to upgrade, I think. I haven't used this camera much this year at all, and I feel kind of guilty about that. But looking back on all the footage I've gotten with this, like I've taken this camera with me across all of America. It's been to Seattle, it's been to the Black Hills in South Dakota, it's been with me to Missouri, it's been with me to North Carolina, Florida. It's shot some of the most important projects I've probably been a part of in my career, including like working with Ann Wilson. I shot some footage with her on this camera. So it has a lot of nostalgia for me, which is a little hard for me to let go of it now. because it's been such a useful camera in so many ways, from all the 4K, high dynamic range video it's been able to get, and the range of the lens, like I was mentioning earlier, is just unmatched. I don't have to take on and off wide angle lenses and telephoto lenses. So there's a lot to be desired in these bridge cameras that they used to make. And I say used to because I don't know if Sony's even going to continue these styles of cameras. I'm hopeful, because I love the all-in-one lens. That's so good on both ranges. But yeah, now it's like it could use a little upgrade with some of the user interface features and update with the app, because I'm stuck on this old app with this camera where I can't even control the settings, which is frustrating because Panasonic's been doing that for years. I now believe Sony's newer cameras are capable of doing that. So they have some dumb features still in them that's kind of a middle ground, even though the quality you can get from them is still comparable to some of the stuff you can get today. So it's a hard one to let go because it has been such a good camera for me. But I'll be honest, it's sometimes hard for me to want to take that big, because it's kind of bulky. I was considering even getting the A6700 if I ever decided to sell this. It's an APS-C, so a bigger sensor, but it's got a smaller-ish body, and the lenses for the E-mount are relatively small for the APS-C lenses. So I was like, well, maybe that trade-off could be a better upgrade. Whatever, it'd be an upgrade because it has a lot of good AI technology and, like I said, user interface features that this one now lacks. So I was considering that for a while, but then I'm thinking, what style of videos am I really going to be shooting going forward? I mean, I don't really do the whole wedding event videography stuff anymore. I don't really need the range, even though I like it sometimes, of the telephoto lens. So I'm trying to still be more minimal. I'm creating a whole array of videos that hopefully will mesh with my beliefs of minimalism, because I don't like big bulky gear and having multiple accessories to fiddle and lose eventually. So I'm trying to this is dang near everything I need, and I hated to want to admit that for the longest time, because phones, are you kidding me, compared to a camera? But even the quality of some of this stuff I get from this just blows my mind sometimes. And this is now 4 years old. So I've been really asking myself now, what do we need? And most new technology is just making things easier to use and quicker to use. And that's really against my old school style of creativity and storytelling of fictional things. So that takes time and editing and planning and setting up the camera and the lighting and everything. But now a lot of new equipment, it kind of adjusts for your environment pretty dang well. So I just wanted to kind of reminisce about how good this RX10 Mark III has been to me. Thank you, Sony. It's captured so many good memories, professionally and personally in my life. Took it to Utah. It's another trip I took and got really beautiful images, and took some video on that as well. I'll leave links to some of these videos down below if you want to see more footage from the RX10 Mark III, because I hope that Sony does eventually come out with a Mark V. Maybe upgrade the sensor size a tiny bit, give us a little bit more low light performance and such. But other than that, it's I'm pretty happy with what this has been able to give me. So yeah, I'll probably be making more videos soon about what the next stage of videography, cinematography looks like for me. Yeah, it's about time. This camera, it's almost 10 years old, about 8-ish, give or take. And I think it's time to get updated with some of those easier features that will make creating less of a chore and yeah, take some of the workload off of getting the perfect shot, you know, that type of stuff. I just need it to be stable. I need it to have good high image quality. It doesn't need to be like 8K by any means, but because most of my videos I down res into like a quad HD, because that's what gives YouTube the better compression algorithm and such, which you can watch in that video. I made one about how YouTube makes your footage look bad if you're shooting 1080, but if you upscale it just slightly, you get a better compression rate and it looks like it should, or closer to. So anyway, that's my rant. Thank you for watching. Go check out all the wonderful videos that this camera's helped me capture over the years, all the wonderful places that I've been, and this has helped take those memories home with me. So that about does it. I'm Nick, and I'm off.